How's it going, everyone? We're here to check out the top skins this week, and if you're new, this doesn't mean these skins are in the shop yet. They just have potential to be in. So, yeah, the lead dev help picks out 8 or so skins every week, and those are the ones that make it. So they could be from this list, they could be something else, you never know. So, jumping off first, we've got the Forest Raiders, Burlap Booties, and Leather Gloves. There you go. Next, we got a pretty bright hoodie and pants set, the curvature. There we go, curvature set. There you have it. Definitely has a funky kind of shaping to it, which is, you know, that curvature part, of course. Next, speaking of funky, we've got an even funkier looking one for you, the Topo hoodie. So there you go. Definitely looks like topology, so I get it. You know, like on a map. Definitely makes a very unique pattern. Next, we simply have some Skull Killer leather gloves for you. I don't know if Help's going to accept any more leather gloves, but if he did, these are definitely very, very nice looking, and I could see people liking them. Next, we've got a Riot helmet for you, the Elite Soldier. And as you can see, they've got some kills mentioned here and there, with some score marks on their helmet. Number 11, it looks like, there on the back. Some dog tags clipped along the side of the goggles. Next, we've got a goofy one for you. It's the Tree Bucket helmet, and the whole thing just kind of looks like a tree stump on your head. And it's just goofy, it's fun, and just fits into that weird side of Rust. Next up, we got a couple road sign sets for you. The first one is the comics set. It has 2 different helmets, one with and without the teeth. So I'm showing you the teeth one because, well, I mean, the other version is just them not being there. So, I mean, that's pretty straightforward to imagine. But in case you can't, we always have the link to the Steam Workshop down in the description below. Next, we have another little silly cosplay set from Milo, the Frog Cosplay Road Sign. And, yeah, we saw some other Frog cosplay sets, pieces, but this one is the actual road sign. And, yeah, it has little splashes, just like the other one, little water droplets here and there. You got your super happy looking frog face, and yeah, there you go. I mean, it's definitely another fun little set. Alright, next up, we've got deployables, and we've got a lot this week, so we're going to kind of fly through them. The first one up here is the Survivalist bag by Delta, and it just has this beautiful leather and fur with a embossed, you know, deer right here. Definitely very, very comfy looking bag, very cozy. Then over here we've got some spiders and pretty creepy collars for you. It's the creepy sleeping bag, as you can, you know, guess there. And yeah, I don't know if you want to use that one. Next, you might not wake up. Next, we've got a very earthy sleeping bag for you with the Fireflies sleeping bag. This has been a previously pretty popular set, and it translates to the sleeping bag really nicely. Like the little leaf trim around the top edge there, of course. Definitely a nice one. Next, we've got some furnaces for you, starting out with this goofy one. I know it is an onion, but it somehow also looks like Patrick a little bit from SpongeBob, and the little flowers down here don't help. So, yeah, it's just hilarious. Next over here, we've got another creepy human face on a furnace, and this is the Street Art Furnace. So, yeah, there you go. You've got this creepy face. It even has ears. That's, oof, I don't know about the ears. Next over here, we've got a more kind of earthly furnace for you. This one is the Runic Furnace. It has some cool light when it actually lights up. Really like the kind of rune head back here. Reminds me of Easter Island mixed with like the little guys from Minecraft, kind of. They're big schnozzes. Next over here, we've got a very kind of bone skull kind of look to this one. This is the Trap for Souls Furnace by Marco. Definitely a very kind of metal looking furnace. You've got the spine in the back and all these kind of like tar marks around it. Definitely very, very cool. Next, we've got one more for you, and it is the Abyss Furnace by Little Ranger. And yeah, this thing lights up with a real mean kind of purpley glow, but I mean, it even looks mean just alone here on its own. Next, we've got the little eco box for you here, and it's made out of cork and eco-friendly materials, just like the rest of the set. Then, no, it's not a toolbox. It is a box that looks like the toolbox, and yeah, I think it's really well done. I can see this one popping into the game, and a lot of people loving it for the fact that it looks like the little toolboxes on the road. Then we've got a very fancy looking little box here for you. This one here is called, let's see, I'm trying to remember. There's so many different skins here. This is the Antique Black Large Wooden Box. So there you go. And as you can see here, there's a rust mural along it, which is quite cool. Then moving on, we've got another box for you. And this one here is made to look just like a castle, which is quite cool. Even has the little doors on the side. Drawbridge and everything. And then over here we've got a warm box for you. This is the Warm Large Box. I mean, that's pretty much a straightforward name there. Then moving on, we've got a box for you that should be quiet. It is the Large Wooden Box Noise Isolation. So are they trying to keep something in there that's loud? I don't know. Maybe it's a beeping bomb. Next over here, we've got another box for you. This one is the surveillance box? No, okay, sorry, control panel box. Surveillance box is next. So yeah, I believe this goes alongside with a locker we just saw recently. Definitely has a lot of different details to it. This one over here would be the surveillance box. Definitely makes a lot more sense. As you can see, it's got the drone and the cameras and all that other stuff on it. Next, we've got a kind of fancier little box for you. This one has a nice little mosaic kind of design to it with a kind of bit of a steampunkish look, I would say. It's the Art Deco box, and I guess the style is Art Deco. I mean, it literally says it in the name. Next over here, we've got a continuation with the mosaic box set with the guns. The Hawaiian set with meds. And then this is the control or component set, I believe. I'm trying to remember. There's so many box sets out. Outline, never mind. Outline set for ammo. And then over here, we've got one more for you with the spiral lamp gun box. Then we've got a rug for you, and this one could be used to make it look like you have wood paneling on your floor that's on fire or whatever. One way or another, it is the smoldering log. Then over here, we've got a fridge for you, and this one is the retro fridge. Definitely has that kind of old Coca-Cola kind of look to it. Definitely neat, and it's got cool little checklists on it. Stay alive, yeah, that's definitely a very important one. Next, we've got some doors, and first up, we've got kind of a wooden particle door for you. This is the chipboard door. So you can see it's stapled together, and it's just made out of that cheap stuff. Sometimes that's really what a wooden door feels like in game anyways. Then over here, we've got a nice little green door for you, if we pop on through. And then careful, freshly painted, and it looks like no one cared. They smeared mud right all over it. It's the freshly painted wooden door. Next, we've got another one for you, and this is the balcony wooden door by Kosum. You can see it has a nice little set of blinds in it. Then we've got another wooden door over here for you. There's the back. Check out the front. And this is the hunter's door. Lastly, for wooden doors, we've got one more for you, and it's the newbie's wooden door, and it looks like actual just tree logs of the different trees in Rust, which I think is really cool. And then if we go ahead and pop through the back, there you go. I'm just started. Well, that's unfortunate. Then over here, we've got a couple sheet metal doors. This one's kind of puffy and fancy looking. It is the incognito metal door. Then we've got an even more so hidden door with the sheet metal door. Moving on over here, we've got the supermarket door, the Zodiac door of Taurus. Then we've got disco ball door, spring bloom door, and it comes in like a stained glass version and kind of a painted version. Then over here, we've got some armor doors for you. The first one is the Noir door. And yeah, it comes in a glowing and a not glowing version as well. And lastly, we've got the Watcher door. We'll go ahead and pop through, show you the back. There we go. And we can kill the lights and check out the glow. And next, we've got the glow on that rug, which looks very cool at night. Of course, we've got all our boxes. Lots of glowing boxes. It's really nice, though, to help find the boxes, honestly. To always have a bit of a glow going on. This one, all the little, like, lights on the side light up. That's beautiful. This one also looks really great at night. And then we've got a glowing version of this one, of course, which is cool. Then we've got our furnaces. And this one, I think, is bugged out a little bit. We're just going to go with that. But, yeah, last thing would be the little glow bugs on the sleeping bag. Alright, next up we've got our tools and weapons, and first off we've got a very simple little hammer for you. This one is just beautifully varnished. It's the manufactured hammer. And, yeah, there you go. Oh, hello, Chinook. Next, we've got a rock for you, and this one's made up of all sorts of different bottle caps, and, well, of course, is aptly named the bottle cap rock. Next, we've got a very bright ruby gem for you with this beautiful ruby ore rock. Then we've got some stone tools. The first ones here are some crabby claws for you. This is the crab claw version 2. And yeah, it's just really beautifully sculpted. And I mean, it really does look like a crab claw and some like beach floated bamboo. Really cool design. And of course it has to have its matching pick. Moving on, we've got another tool set for you. This stone tool set is the El Diablo one. It should look quite familiar to you there. And, of course, it doesn't actually glow, so they won't give you away, but it does have a nice kind of look to it. As you can see, no glow there. Next, we've, of course, got its matching pickaxe. Next, we got some metal tools for you here, and these have this kind of red spray painted kind of thing going on. This is the dismemberment set, and actually, you know what? That might not be spray paint. One way or another, here's the matching pick. Moving on, we've got a little stabby bone knife for you. You don't see bone knife skins too often. This is the survival bambook. There you go, bambook. And next, of course, it's got a little matching club to go with it. I like the little thing. It looks like a rock at the top, and it says Dum Dum. Very, very funny. Next, we've got a bow for you, and this one's got kind of a little pink design. This is the Elegance Hunting Bow. You can see there's a nice silver trim at the top. Then we've got some crossies for you. Starting off, this first one has got a little leopard print going on, and is, of course, the leopard crossbow. Aiming down the sights there, you can see lots of fur. And we'll go ahead and pull back the string for a reload for you. Our next crossbow is all flowery and pink. It is the Flower Shot crossbow. Also has kind of a bit of a 3D printed look to it as well. And there's that reload. Next, we've got something that is definitely 3D printed. This is the 3D plastic crossbow. Aiming down the sights there. And a reload. Realistically, I don't think it could bend to hold the pressure of a crossbow. But hey, very cool design nonetheless. Then we've got another one for you. This one here's got some skulls and stuff going on. It's the We Are From Hell crossbow. Next, we've got one more crossbow for you, and it is the Constructor crossbow, and this one is no stock, as well as it's got this cut out front that looks like a crane. It's definitely a really cool design, and it's rusty and crusty, which fits right in to rust, and yeah, it's just actually a really cut out crossbow, which makes it look quite unique. Then we've got some DBs for ya. The first one here is the double shot pen. It's the insulin double shotgun. So yeah, I don't know if that's considered appropriate or not. One way or another, it's pretty cool looking. So hey, we're showing it to you. We'll leave that decision up to the devs. Next, we've got some pumpies for ya with the banger pump. Definitely a very popular set that's done quite well. Aiming down the sights, it's got a little boom and a red tip to the shotgun sight. Next up, we've got a revolver for you here, and this one has kind of little lava swirls and so forth going through it. And yeah, it's definitely a really clever design. It's the Roots of Cinder revolver. Aiming down the sights here, you've got a kind of embery look to it, but not exactly a glow on the sights itself. And it does look like it might glow, but it does not. Next, we've got a python for you, and this one has a very cool little design to it. This one is the suprematism. There we go. Suprematism, maybe? I hope not. That would be a bad name. So one way or another, there you go. Aiming down the sights, it does look like a white tip to it, but it's kind of, that might glow, but it's not. And there is the reload. Next, we've got another python for you, and this one is all sorts of dripping with toxic goo. It's a toxic waste python. Aiming down the sights here, you've got some toxic goo and kind of a whitish, greenish, bluish, depending where you're looking sight. It kind of changes colors a little bit there. Next, we've got some saps for you, and this one's got a crazy little design. There's like a eyeball popping out and everything. This is the Alarm Semi-Auto. Aiming down the sights, you've got some red sights. There's that reload. Next, we've got a Tommy for you, and if you can't already tell, it is the Lunar Thompson. We did get one gun from this set, so hey, maybe this one might pop on in. We'll just have to see. There's the aiming down the sights. And there we go with our nice reload. Next, we've got some more Tommies for you with the Survivor Thompson. Aiming down the sights here, you've got a red tip. And there's that reload. Next, we've got one more Thompson for you. It's the White Tiger Thompson. And yeah, it's kind of got a green and black stripes going through it there. Aiming down the sights, you've got the same kind of pattern kind of over it, but there is a bit of a kind of like green-black tip to it. Next, we've got the UFO SMG. So we saw the armor pop in, and this has kind of like a really kind of cool retro sci-fi look to it, which I think a lot of people would dig. Kind of has that ray gun thing going on, and aiming down the sights, you've got what look like glow sights, but they're not, and a little alien dude. Next, we've got some MP5s for you. The first one here is the First Strike, appropriately. So there you go. Aiming down the sights, you've got red and green sights. Next, we've got another MP5 for you. This one's a little more on the punk side. It's the Painted Black MP5. Definitely looks cobbled and scrapped together, very raidery. Aiming down the sights here, you've got a kind of clomber of colors going on. Then moving on, we've got another MP5 for you here. This one is the Immortal MP5. Aiming down the sights, nothing really going on, which is a bit of a shame. Then we've got another MP5 for you here. This one is the Nighthawk MP5. And yeah, it's pretty much an all-black MP5, but it has a unique cutout kind of stock design, which looks quite nice. Aiming down the sights, you've got a green painted sight for you there. Next up, we've got some more MP5s, and this one right here is the Limit MP5. It has some kind of cool little stripy design going on. It has a little bit of a metallic effect depending on how the light hits it. Aiming down the sights, you've got kind of a mix of the colors with a red tip. And there's that reload. Next, we've got a last MP5 for you here, and it's got kind of a geometric pattern. It is the Ravager MP5. Aiming down the sights here, pretty much just blue on white. like the rest of the design, and there's that reload. Next, we've got some SARs for you. First one is a comeback to the Lost Souls with Lost Souls version 2 of the SAR. Aiming down the sides here, you've got some nice red tips. And we'll pop a reload there. Next, our next SAR here is a pipe rifle. There you go, simply just pipe rifle. So there you go, you can see it's kind of made out of pipe pieces. Aiming down the sights here, you've pretty much just got regular kind of iron sights. Next, we've got another SAR, and this one's got some wings and kind of a more punky look to it. This is the Spearhead SAR by Epic. Aiming down the sights here, you've just got the kind of black-gray going on with a little silver dome. Next in this group, we've got our first AK, and this one's got this very cool art of a frog on the side. It is the Deep in the Jungle AK. Aiming down the sights here, you've got kind of a silver versus black, and a little crown. Or it's maybe frog print, actually. I think it's a frog print. Yeah, it's a frog print. Next up, we've got the Heat Sink AK, I believe. No, steam rifle, I'm sorry. I got them out of order here. These steam rifle. I'm like, this looks more steampunky than anything else. Definitely a very nice design. Aiming down the sights there, you've got a little steam gauge and red and silver and bronze colored sights. Now we should have, there we go. This is the heat sink rifle. Makes more sense. Looks a lot more like a heat sink. Also has a little temperature gauge right there. And there's our reload. Next, we've got another AK for you, and this one's got a cards design. It's the Diamond King Blackjack. Definitely very cool. Aiming down the sights here, you've got gold versus silver and black. And that is definitely a crown. Next, we've got another AK for you, and this one's all rainbowed up. It's the multicolor AR. Aiming down the sights here, you've got, well, pretty much a multicolored sight with a kind of goldish tip, I would say. Then we've got a pink kind of cloth-covered little AK for you. This is the Informality AR. And there's also a stock and stockless version. Then with the tip there, it's kind of like a pink with red, looks like, more or less. Then we've got first of our LRs for you, and this is the Line Art LR, yellow edition. Definitely has that very nice kind of like cell-shaded look to it. Aiming down the sights, you've got a big white ring and a yellow tip. Next, we've got a Bolty for you. It's been a bit since we have had a Bolty in the shop, so maybe this one will have a chance, as it's from a very popular set, the Phantom set. And this version 2 is definitely looking very good and fancy. Next, we've got a L96 for you, and this one is all crazy looking. It's the Catalyst L96, and it's just got this carved cat atlas cloud kind of thing going on, and there's multiple eyes. Just very, very cool looking design for sure. Next, we've got an M249, and this one should make you pretty hungry, as it is the Kilocalories M249, and the whole thing just looks like a giant sandwich dripping, and there's a taco up there somewhere. I think there might even be a burger in there somewhere. Chunk of meat, a piece of chicken, a little bit of everything, and then you've got yellow and red for the sights. I almost wish that the bullets were hot dogs. Then whoop, we got one more M249 before you can see that grenade. And yeah, this one is a very beautiful M2. It is the Redemption M249. It just has this beautiful metallic red, very cool carved design, and it just has this tough industrial look to it. Aiming down the sights, you've got red versus black. I like the two different colored rings. Nice effect for sure. And there's that reload. And next, we've got a grenade for you, and this one's just a solid gold grenade. I mean, hey, it's pretty straightforward. We don't get grenade skins very often. I can see this being a fun one, for sure. Then next we've got some more boom for you with the Cobalt Lock Satchel, and man, this thing literally looks like a battery, shiny and all, and I just love the design of it. Always cool to see creative stuff like that. Then we've got another satchel for you that's quite creative, and this one is the Satchel Phone, and the whole thing kind of looks like an old rotisserie phone, and again, just a very cool little design. Last but not least, we've got a rocket launcher for you, and this one is the Abomination rocket launcher. And yeah, it's just got a kind of cool little design to it, kind of biohazard look. Of course, we've got to load in a rocket, and I don't know, we'll just shoot it up at Dome, I guess. There you go, Dome, have a rocket. But that does it, everyone. Thank you for watching and tuning in. Leave any kind of feedback or comments you can. I always love hearing that, and I'll try to get to the right people if it's not for me. Thanks for watching. Stay rusty.